Lovely people, you are welcome back. As for today, we are going to continue from where we left the other time, and today we are going to continue from queries. Queries is an example of objects, and when you talk of objects are the tables, forms, report, queries, modules, etc. But for now, we are only going to do with four, which is the tables, forms, queries, and today we are moving on to queries. When you talk of queries, it's asking the system questions. It's asking questions. That is the meaning. So we are going to ask the system questions based on the information we have in our system. We can't ask the system to give us something which is not in the system or in the any of the tables we have provided here. Okay, so maybe for instance, we can ask the system to give us customers who are living in Kumasi. And when you talk of Kumasi, we have Efia Kunedu who is living in Kumasi, and we also have Urabano who is living in Kumasi. Okay, so when you tell the system to give us customers who are living in Kumasi, it will exclude all the rest. Okay, but it will come with those who are living in Kumasi alone. Okay, so maybe for instance, we don't have any customer who is living in Obuasi, and we ask the system this question: please, can you give me customers who are living in Obuasi? The system will come out with nothing, because we don't have any customer who is living in what? Obuasi. So when you talk of queries, you ask the system question, but the system is going to answer you based on the data you have in the system. Okay, and the system will never generate a new one for you. You are going to put in your records, and you are going to ask the system records. You are going to put in your records, and you are going to ask the system record. You are going to ask the system questions, and the system is going to answer you based on the information you have on your tables. Okay, and when you talk of queries, the first thing that should come into your mind is when you ask of the query question. Okay, so our first query for today is provide customers who are living in Kumasi. Okay, provide customers who are living in Kumasi. So the first thing that should come into your mind is how you are going to create your query. 2, the table which the query is going to affect. 3, the field names which is going to make the query readable or understandable to the user. Because when someone say provide me customers who are living in Kumasi, and you provide only Kumasi as a city, okay, when you provide Kumasi alone, the reader will never understand, or the user will never understand. So you have to provide some information or some field name which is going to make the user understand the information you have provided. And 4, the next one is the field name which the query is going to affect. Okay, that is the most important thing you have to know. So without wasting much time, we are moving on to we are going to learn how to create the query. And to create a query, you click on the create tab. Okay, when you click on the create tab, we have query wizard, and we also have query design. We can use any of them. Okay, but for now let's use query design. Okay, so you click on query design. When you click on query design, a show table will open for you like this. It will open for you with all the tables available, all the 4 tables. And we can also have queries over here. By now we have not yet created any query, so we have nothing, and both. So now we have tables alone here. So to create our query, you just have to, as I've already told you, just have to check the query question. And the query question says provide me with customers who are living in Kumasi. Okay, who are living in Kumasi. So when you check customers who are living in Kumasi, where can you get customers? It's what? Customer table. So you just have to check the query question where the table which the query is going to affect, and when from this question the query is going to affect customer table. So you just select it and click on add. When you are done, you close it. You close the show table. This property sheet, we don't need it for now, so you can close it, and it will left with the query grade. Here is called query grade. Okay, query grade, and this is the table. Okay, this is the table, and these are the field names which are available on the customer table. And this star you see over here, when you select it, it means you have selected all these field names. You have selected all these field names. So now we want customers who are living in Kumasi. So to select our field name to the query grade, you can double click on it, customer number. It will come here. It will come to the query grade. Okay, customer number, the field is customer number, the table is customer. The table is customer, and sort, we have not yet there yet. I will explain it to you. And we select the next one. Sorry. Then we don't want this one. So the customer name is here. You double click again, address, and address will come here. You can also come here and click on this arrow. Then you select the next field name, which is city. Okay, and we can decide to add a region to it. So we have our region. So sorry, after selecting all the field names for the query, okay, these are the field names. So the moment you run it, you are going to see it. So let's run it and see. Okay, we are going to run the query and see. So for now, we have not given the system a specific area that we want. Okay, so the system is going to provide all customers for us. So let's run it and see. And to run our query, you just have to click on design first, then you click on run. Okay, so this is our 10 customers we have. Okay, 10. Okay, but we want what? Those who are living in Kumasi, and those who are living in Kumasi. Okay, so we turn to the design view again. Okay, we turn to the design view of the query. Okay, and when you check from here, we have field, which are the field names. We have table. Sort is when you want, maybe if you want to arrange them in ascending or descending, you just have to click under the field name that you want to arrange. So maybe for instance, you want to arrange the customer name in ascending order, and when you talk of ascending order, it means from A to Z, and when you talk of descending order, is from Z to A. So now let us arrange the customer name from A to Z. So we select ascending and show. This show over here, this box you see over here. Okay, the moment you check, it is on check like this. When you run it, so let's run it and see. You will not see what the customer number over here. Okay, the customer number has vanished. So that is the function of the show. Okay, but we want to see the customer number, so we check the box again. And criteria, the next one is criteria. When you talk of criteria, is when we want a specific area within our tables or queries. Okay, or when we don't want a specific area. Okay, so criteria, we use criteria when we want a specific area or not. We don't want any area within the query. Okay, so the criteria, maybe for instance, our query says we should provide customers who are living in Kumasi. Okay, and after identifying our table which the query is going to affect, and after selecting our field name, the next thing that should come into our mind is the field name which the query is going to affect. And the field name is talking of what? Kumasi. And when you check from Kumasi, when you check from the field name we have in the customer table, where can you locate Kumasi? It's under where? City. Okay, we can find Kumasi under the city. Okay, so the query is going to affect which field name? The field names is you by. The query is going to affect which one? Is city. Okay, so you come to criteria because we want what? A specific area. So you come to criteria. So under the city, we type in Kumasi. Kumasi. Okay, like this. This is Kumasi. So let us run it and see. So you click on design. The moment you click on design, then you run it. So now you see we only have what? 2 records, and the 2 records represent the 2 people who are living in what? Kumasi. And as you can see, our customer name has been arranged in alphabetical order from A to Z. Okay, so let us see something. We turn to the design view again. Okay, so this is for query 1. Okay, so these are the customers who are living in what? Kumasi. So we save it and we will maintain the query 1. Okay, we will maintain the query 1, then we close it. Okay, and we are also going to create another query. By this time around, we don't want customers who are living in Kumasi, but rather we want customers who are living in other towns or cities within the organization or the business. So this time around, we are going to create a query. Okay, by this time we don't want customers who are living in Kumasi. This time around we are going to create a query. We don't want customers who are living in Kumasi. Okay, so you click on the create tab again, then your query design, and the query is going to affect customer table. So we select it and add it. Okay, then you close it. This time around, let's select the star and see. So you double click on the star. Okay, so we will run it. As you can see, it represents all the field names we have. Okay, it will represent all the field names we have under the table. So we turn to the design view again. So the moment we turn to the design view again, the query is going to affect which field name, because as for here, it selects all the field names, so we can't do anything. Like we can't type under the criteria it's not Kumasi or something, unless we add the field name which the query is going to affect, and the query is going to affect city. Okay, so you double click on the city for the city to appear on the query grid. So after the city appearing on the query grid, under the city, the criteria side, you type in not Kumasi. Okay, so let's run it and see. Now we don't have any Kumasi in our query. Okay, but as you can see, we are having two cities within our query. Okay, here is the first one and here is the second one. We are having 2 cities, but we don't want it in that way, so we just have to turn to the design view. Okay, then we uncheck this box not to show it, then we run it again and see. So now you see we only have what? One table. We only have 1 city, and we having the 1 city, we don't have any what? Kumasi in it. So meaning we exclude what? Kumasi. We exclude Kumasi, our customers who are living in Kumasi, and we can also exclude another town. Okay, we can also exclude another town. So return to the design view again. Okay, the all over here meaning another town. So, and another way to type in not is less than or greater than. Less than or greater than is the same as not. So the next town is maybe Accra, not Accra, or we don't want to see Accra in the query, so we run it again. Hey, sorry. So now we have Kumasi over here, and please, I want to take this opportunity to teach you something over here. Please, when you open the customer table over here, as you can see, look at how we have spelled the Kumasi. Okay, and maybe here we omitted maybe the A like this. Okay, and this place too we omitted the A. This is how Kumasi is spelled in the customer table. It's Kumsi. Okay, then we close it and we come to the query side and look at how I have typed in the Kumasi Kumais. Let's run it and see. So I'll click on my design, then I'll run it. It's not what Kumasi. The Kumasi over here will come because when you check from the spellings, the Kumasi over here will come. Because when you check from the spellings, we don't have any A in the Kumasi. Okay, we don't have any A, but on our query we have what A in it. Okay, let's do it this way. This time not we want Kumasi. Okay, we want Kumasi, so let's run it and see. The system will give us no because the Kumasi we have typed in at the query grade is what different from the one which is on the customer table. So remember, always when you are typing something under the query grade, you have to check the spelling. You have to check whether the spelling is the same as the one which is on the table. Because when you check from the Kumasi we have on the customer table, the Kumasi we have here, it does not have any A. So to get the same thing like this, you have to type in under the query, you have to type in the same thing, or you have to change one. So let's change it and see. Let us remove the A and run it and see. Yes, so now we have the two people who are living in what Kumasi, but Kumasi over here is a mistake, and to make that correction you just have to change it first from the main table, which is the customer table. So you have to change it from here. So you click and you add your letter, the missing letter. Okay, so I'll add back my missing letter, which is the A, then I'll close it. So I'll turn to the design view again, and okay, this time let's run it like this and see. You see how I have typed in the Kumasi, so I'm running it. So see, I'll have empty because we don't have such Kumasi under the customer table. So I'll turn to the design view again and just add the A to it. Okay, so I'll run it again and see. So now we have our two customers who are living in Kumasi. So we turn to the design view again. This time around we don't want customers who are living in Kumasi, so you can also represent it by less than or greater than, not Kumasi. So we run it and see. So we don't have any customers who are living in Kumasi over here. So we save it as query 2. Okay, so we save it as query 2. Then we move on to the next one. Okay, we are moving on to the next query. and we want the next query is we want to create a query for order for October. Okay, we want to know the transaction which took place within October. It could be we have a lot of transactions, like from January to December, but we want October alone. And when we talk of October, we can have some at 2012, 2011, but which year we want order for October 2012. So we are going to create a query for only transaction which took place in October 2012. Okay, so to create our query, we just have to know the table which the query is going to affect. And when you check from our other table over here, let's see, as we can see, we have November transaction over here. Okay, we have 2 November transaction, but we don't want the 2 November transaction. Okay, we only want the October transaction 2012. So we close our other table, and to create our query, you just have to remember that always you have to check the table which the query is going to affect, and the field name which you are going to select, that will make the query readable or understandable to the user. Okay, so to create our next query, which is order for October 2012, you just have to click on the create tab again, then you click on query design. Okay, so after clicking on our query design, our October query, the order for October query 2012, okay, is going to get our dates. We have to select what is going to affect order table, product table. Okay, product table, and yeah, that's all. It's going to affect only 2, because that is where we can get our order dates, the dates, and we can also get the product name, the price, and the quantity. Okay, because we want to know the total sales for the month, or the total, we want to know the order for October, the total amount we want to know. So these are the 2 tables which the query is going to affect. So after adding the 2 tables, you just close it and see. Please, when you look at here, this symbol, it represents what relationship between the 2 tables. So if you are creating a table, if you are creating a relationship and you don't do it well, when it comes to queries and it involves with those tables, the system will not allow you. It will send you back to go and do the relationship again. But here is the case, we have done it nicely. So now we are going to pick, or we are going to select the field name which is going to make the user understand the query we have. So our first field name is, let us select order dates. Okay, and the next field name, we should select item name, and the next one is the quantity the person bought. Definitely the next field name will be what? Retail price. Okay, so we have our retail price over here. So these are the 4 field names we have. So let us run it and see. So you run it, and this is how it will appear. Okay, so you will have all the transactions in our system, including November, January, but this time around we will only want what? The October transaction. Okay, so return to the design view again. So under the criteria, as I've already explained the criteria to you, is when we want a specific area. Okay, and when you check from this query, the query is going to affect the dates, the order dates. Okay, because we only want what? The transaction which took place within October 2012. Okay, so it's going to affect only order dates. Okay, so under the order date criteria side, because we want a specific month, we type in between then space. Please take note, then space. Let me expand it a little bit. Between then space is what? And please, when you are typing your date, check from your system date. So now when I check for my system date, is what? Month, day, year. Month, day, year. So that's how I'm going to type it under the criteria. So the month is October /01, representing first. So October 1st /2012. And so you bring your space again, and okay, then space again, October 10, which is 10/31, which is 31st, because October starts from 1st to 31st /2012. Okay, and please let me, when it comes to access and we say something in our normal mathematics, when we say something is between something, it excludes the beginning and ending. Maybe for instance, if you want the numbers between 1 to 5 is going to be 2, 3, 4, we will not have, it will not include the 1 and the 5. But when it comes to access, the between, it will include the beginning. So maybe if you say between 1 to 5 in access, it will give us the numbers between 1 to 5. The access will give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will include the beginning and the ending. But in our normal mathematics or normal English, when you say between something, it will never include the beginning and the ending. Okay, so please take note. So this between the 1st October 2012 and the 31st October, the system is going to include the beginning, which is the 1st, and include the ending, which is the 31st. So please take note. So when you are done like this, you just run it and see whether the system has excluded all the November or all other transactions. Okay, so when you check from here, we don't have any other month apart from what? October. Okay, October. We only have October transactions here. So we turn to the design view again. Okay, and this time around we want to learn how to add a field name. Okay, see this star you see over here, the system added it automatically. Okay, so please, anytime you are typing, you just leave the space. Okay, so this is how it works. So we are done with the order date. So we want to get our total for the each item or each day. Okay, and to get our total for each day, you just have to do, to get our total is what? Quantity times what? Retail price. And we are going to get our total. And please, when you check from the tables, all the tables we have, none of them, we can't get what? Total from any of the tables. So it means we are going to create our own field name. And please, creating our own field name under queries, we just have to trace this line. The first one is what? Field. So we trace it and move on to the empty one. Then we type in what? Total. Okay, so after typing in your total, we are defining the field name. And we defining the field name, you just have to bring in our semicolon. Our column, sorry, not semicolon. And to get our column is shift, then I think the letter under the P. Okay, so you press and hold your shift key, then you type in the letter under P. Okay, so this is our column, the two dots. Okay, it's our column. Then you bring your space. It's what? Quantity times retail price. So you type in quantity, then our multiplication sign. And our multiplication sign, we can locate it on top of 8. So you press and hold your shift key again, then you type in 8. Okay, then retail price. Please no space, retail price. Okay, like this. When you are done, please, when you are done, let me expand it so that you can see the formula. You can see the full formula. So this is how quantity times what? Retail price. Please, let me remind you, check how I have spelled the quantity. You see this one? This quantity you see over here is the same as this one. This the quantity you see on this table. And the retail price, the same thing. The one you see over here. So the moment you change any of it, so now we have typed it correctly. So let's run it and see whether we are going to have our result. So we just click on the design, then you click on run. So here is the case. We have what? Our total. Okay, our total. So we are going to turn to the design view and see something. So we turn to the design view. Let us change the price, the spelling of the price. Okay, let me add n like this and run it and see. You will get this message: enter a perimeter value, retail price, because the system does not know what? Retail price. The system only knows retail what? Price. So the moment you type something wrong over here, which is not related to these tables, the tables you have selected here, the system will give you this message: enter the perimeter value. Okay, when you click on OK, you have the total as what? Empty, because the system does not know any retail what? Price. The system only knows retail price. So we return to the design view again, then you delete the n. And please let me remind you, anytime you are typing, you can decide to bring the square bracket or you can leave it. The system will add it automatically. Okay, this is the square bracket, the one you see on the quantity and the retail price. Okay, so we run it. So this is our total. Okay, we can also decide to arrange the dates ascending or descending. So let us arrange it in ascending from smallest to what? Biggest. So maybe from first to 31st. So ascending, then we run it and see. So 10, 15, then 31st. Okay, so we save it. Our query what? We save it. Okay, we will save it and we move on to the last query for the day. Okay, we are moving on to the last query for the day. So we close this one, we don't need it again, we close it. Okay, and our last query for the day is we are going to create a query ordered by customer. So orders which is being made by what? Customers. Okay, this time around we are going to create query a query which we want to see orders which has been made by what? Our customers. Okay, so we want to know the customers who made an order. Okay, so the same way we click on the create tab, then query design, and this query it is going to affect customer table. So you add, and also it is going to affect product or other table, so we also add, and it is going to affect product table too, so we add, then we close it, meaning we have 3 tables over here. And as I've already explained it, and before you create a query, you have to make sure that you have created a relationship among the tables. Okay, so our query talks about order being made by our customers. So the first field name is going to affect, it is after identifying our table which the query is going to affect. The field names are the field name which we are going to select, that will make the user understand which are going to make the user understand the query is. We will select our field names, and the field names talks about we want to see the customer, so the customer number, the customer name, our customer name, then our item number. And please let me remind you, we have item number over here, we also have item number over here. And as I've already told you, when you are creating any object, tables, queries, forms and reports, you must have only one primary key. And as you can see, we are having the customer number over here as what? A primary key. Okay, because we selected this first one. So this is what? A primary key. So it means we can't select this item number you see over here, because the rule says any object must have only what? One primary key. So automatically we have to select what? The foreign key, which is the item number we see over here. Okay, and let me take this chance to explain how to delete something from the query grid. If you don't want it, you just have to put your mouse cursor like this, then you highlight everything, then you press the delete key on your keyboard. Okay, so that is how it works. So the next one is retail price. Okay, and the last one is quantity. So this is how it is. Okay, these are the field names we have 5 field names. Okay, so let us run it and see. So we will run it like this. So these are the customers who have ordered in our company: Daniel Asare, Samuel Bonsu, Janet Bonku, Kofi Edu, David Forson, Samson Anoma. Okay, Samson Ano, sorry. So we turn to the design view again. Okay, this time around I want us to learn something small. Okay, to learn how to move a particular field name to another field name. Maybe for instance we want to remove this retail price to the end. Okay, we want the quantity to come before the retail price, so you just put your mouse cursor like this and it will turn like this, then you click. When you click, the moment you click, then you click and hold like this, then you drag it. Okay, when it gets to the line you want, you just leave it, and here is the quantity and here is the retail price. So for now we are done with the arrangement and we want to calculate for the total. So the same way, we just have to create our new field name, and to create our new field name, the field name is what? Total. So the same way, we bring our column, which is the 2 dots, the one we see under the P. So you press your shift key, press and hold, then you press the key, you have your column. The same way, quantity, then your multiplication sign, which is on the 8, so you press the shift key, then you plus with your 8. Okay, quantity will multiply what? Retail price. Retail price. Okay, so this is our retail, this is our total. And please, when you check from something over here, here is what the quantity you see on this table is. The first letter is in caps, and as you can see here is 2 is what in small letters. It's okay. The system will allow you because the spellings are what the same, just that one is caps and one is what small. The system will allow you. Okay, so we also sort the customer name by ascending. Okay, then let us run it and see. Anytime you want to see this run icon, okay, you just have to click on design, then you run it and see. So as you can see, the customer names have been arranged in alphabetical order from A to Z, and this is what our total. So this is our query forward. So the same way we save it, and to save it the same way, you click on the save button, then you click on OK. When you are done, you close it. Okay, so for now we are done with some few queries, but there is more to come concerning our next project, which is project 2. Okay, it is going to be all about queries, how to calculate for salaries, age, everything. So for now we are done with project 1. Okay, so thank you so much for watching today's episode. Thank you so much. Okay, and prepare for the next assignment. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.